review Batman films. Or, should I say, it's Batman here to review Batman films. So anyways, it's back to Racker's Reviews, and here I am, Batman Regala, which means, that's right, we're going to review all the Dark Knight movies. Can you believe it, folks? The Reverend Racker's going to review all the Batman movies, or the Batman movies. So first, we've got Batman, the movie, the original, Adam West, Burt Ward, all the villains, the Joker, the Riddler, Catwoman, and the Penguin. The Joker played by the one and only Cesar Romero. Sorry, I should have not messed that up. Knew his last name was Romero. Penguin played by none other than Mickey from Rocky Balboa. Burgess Meredith, whack, 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 get him, whack, 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 which really loosely turns into, you're a greasy, fast Italian tank rock. We got Lee Merriweather as the Catwoman. Only time she played Catwoman was in Batman the movie. And the one and other Frank Gorshin as the Riddler. Now the plot of this movie, pretty simple. Catwoman trying to kidnap Bruce Wayne so the evil villains can kill Batman, basically. They've got a crazy-ass ray that dehydrates people, turns them into dust, and at the end you find out there's a giant bomb ready to blow up Gotham, and Batman's got to get rid of this bomb, and it takes him forever. It's very comedy and sketchy, and it's a good slapstick like the TV show was. It's a fantastic movie, for real. If you like Batman, start off with this one. It's the original. I believe this was like 67 this came out. So, we're talking early stuff. The only earlier things you could get was Batman serials. And serials were like little mini movies in front of other movies in like the 30s and 40s. So this was the first real Batman movie that ever came out. Like I said, Batman's has a hell of a time trying to get rid of a bomb, and it's pretty hilarious. All the villains work great together. It's just a classic Batman movie. I would give this 4 Batman cowls out of 5. So, if you like Batman, and you like hearing Robin say really cheesy things, then you're going to love it. It's just good old-fashioned classic action comedy stuff, so it's good stuff. Next, unfortunately, I have the 4-pack, so we're going to talk about 1989 Tim Burton Batman first, where this mask came from. Actually, if you notice in the movie, it's not the bat emblem down here is different. It doesn't actually look like that. It's a little different. Michael Keaton plays Batman. Fucking awesome job as Batman. First time Batman was really, really dark as far as in our world, and basically the suit and the darkness of Gotham that's been throughout all the Batman movies basically came from Tim Burton's 1989 Batman. Jack Nicholson as the Joker? Are you kidding me? He freaking kills it as the Joker. Some of the greatest one-liners, Grissom is Jack Napier's boss, rubs his shoulders, you're my #1 guy. That's good stuff. And how can you ever forget about the Joker saying, have you ever danced with the devil by the pale moonlight? That's one of my favorite lines in a movie ever. Just Jack Nicholson as the Joker is amazing. Just badass. Pulls a giant gun out of his pants. He's got the handshake deal that fries people to death. His flour has acid in it when he sprays it. Plus, he's just ridiculous. He goes through a art gallery and things and just smashes things up, or like just handprint stuff. Another good one is Vicky Vale asking him what he wants, and he says, "I want my face on the $1 bill." I mean, that's genius stuff. I love it. And then the epic fight at the end between Batman, who finds out the Joker killed his parents. I mean, it gets 5 Bat Cowls out of 5 Bat Cowls. I would give it more, but we can only have 5. Next, Batman Returns with Michael Keaton back as Batman. You got Danny DeVito as the Penguin, and Catwoman is none other than Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer, amazing as Catwoman. I mean, just awesome. Hasn't been a Catwoman like her since, probably never will be. She was what I would say your typical Catwoman. Danny DeVito, I thought, was a great Penguin. They didn't really need to make him deformed or whatever, and like part Penguin or however they went with that. I didn't think that was necessarily needed, as the Penguin was just a rich aristocrat guy anyway. But they make him from a rich aristocrat family that they basically threw away their baby down the sewer, and he was raised by penguins. So, I mean, that's a little hokey, but I mean, it's also got Christopher Walken in it. I mean, tons of really good actors. This one, the Penguin's trying to take over Gotham. Catwoman's just really trying to do her thing, and it's a good movie. I really liked it. I would give this one like 3.5 to 4 Bat Cowls. Like 3.75 Bat Cowls if we can do that. The studios didn't really care for this movie. They thought it was way too dark. And the third Batman movie, which ends up being Batman Forever, was completely different. It was supposed to have Michael Keaton in it, back as Batman. Tim Burton was going to direct again. And it just came out not too long ago that Robin Williams would have played the Riddler in that. But since Batman Returns didn't do as well, they scrapped that whole project. And, man, I'll tell you what, when I read about that, that would have been amazing to see. I would have loved to see Robin Williams as the Riddler and Michael Keaton back as Batman. Would have been great. So then the third of, I guess, what you would call the Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher four-pack of Batmans was Batman Forever. Now, we got a new Batman. It's Val Kilmer. He's okay. He's definitely no Michael Keaton. He's certainly no Adam West. They try to make this one a little more hokey. It is a little hokier. Jim Carrey's the Riddler. Honestly, I thought he played a really good Riddler. I thought it was a great part for him. Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face was kind of half-assed. It was almost like a scarred-up Joker kind of performance, and not necessarily a Two-Face performance. It's not bad. Nicole Kidman's in this one as a psychiatrist that Batman kind of falls into, and she's like hung up on Batman, and like he goes through some psycho crap. This is the first appearance since Batman the movie where Robin comes into play. Chris O'Donnell as Robin. It could have been worse, and it was done worse later on. Chris O'Donnell does an okay job. They do a couple times in the movie try to give him the cheesy one-liners, like in Batman the movie, as like the original Robin. That really doesn't hold up. this is kind of the first time they actually have traps, kind of like the old Batman TV series. Batman has to choose his love, Dr. Chase Meridian, or his new crime-fighting partner, Robin, at the end of the movie. Who's he going to save? I mean, of course, spoiler alert, he saves both of them because he's fucking Batman. Um, I'm going to say this is an average movie. I'm going to give it 3 bat cowls, because it wasn't terrible, but it was definitely not good. Um, so yeah, 3 sounds okay, because Jim Carrey really held it down as the Riddler for me, and Val Kilmer wasn't atrocious. Although when he does smile in the Batman mask, it's really cheesy and lame. You know, I'm going to give it like 2.75 bat cowls now that I think about it. It's pretty average. Definitely starts our down slope even farther in the Batman movies. Uh, the next Batman movie, Batman and Robin. Blam. Um, the worst Batman movie ever made. I can say it out loud and proud. Terrible Batman movie. George Clooney is Batman. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't think so. And it's fucking terrible. Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Mr. Freeze. Yeah, because we need somebody who he can't understand as a character in a Batman movie. Also, Uma Thurman is Poison Ivy. Not a bad Poison Ivy. I just thought it was weird they put those 2 characters together. The first appearance of Bane is in this movie, but they make him basically a retarded monster more than anything. So that's not that cool, although in this one they do show the use of the venom drug deal that goes through his veins, so that was closer to the comic. Otherwise, this is a bad movie. This is all around a bad movie. Mr. Freeze wants to freeze Gotham, but Poison Ivy wants to turn it into a jungle. Why are we teaming up? It's 2 opposite things. The only thing they have in common is they both want to kill Batman, sort of. Though Mr. Freeze definitely does. So yeah, I mean, it's not good, and there's any time you can say any kind of one-liner about things being cold, it is done. Chill out. You are being put on ice. Gotham will be cold. I mean, it's just cheesy shit like that basically killed this franchise. There was another Batman to be done after Batman and Robin, but it totally got squashed, done and over with. Now, we go into the Nolan trilogy. Comes out with Batman Begins. Basically a Batman story, like his origins. We never really had a Batman origins. Like, you don't see how he becomes a badass and anything. Batman Begins shows that. It shows him, as a young man, wanting to get revenge on his father and parents' killers, and he can't really do it. He tries to nut up and go face off against the big mob boss in a bar. That doesn't work out well for him. So he just trades his code in and goes overseas and hooks up with who he thinks, he hooks up with Ra's al Ghul. As a matter of fact, he doesn't know that's who it is at the moment, but Ra's al Ghul ends up training him to become a badass. Goes back to Gotham, starts kicking ass. You get the Scarecrow in this movie. What is his name? I don't remember the guy's name who played Scarecrow, but he does a great job. Cillian Murphy. So you've got Christian Bale as Batman, just coming off doing The Machinist, which is a killer movie. You've got Michael Caine as Alfred. Jim Gordon, of course, Commissioner Gordon. Gary Oldman is Commissioner Gordon. Awesome. Got a new character called Lucius Fox who runs the R&D division of Wayne Enterprises that hooks him up with all his gear. So eventually he, of course, has to fight Ra's al Ghul in the end. And the only thing I can say that's real negative about this movie is we get the stylings of Batman that comes out like he's like got a sore throat. So Christian Bale talks normally, but Batman, I'm Batman. You need to save the city, and I can help. You know, it's like he's been a 50-year-old smoker, one of them old lady smokers that talks like that, you know. But, I mean, it's a quality film. I really enjoyed Batman Begins. I think I'd give Batman Begins 4 bat cowls, definitely. 4 bat cowls for Batman Begins. Good stuff. Now we've got The Dark Knight. This basically is Nolan's masterpiece for Batman. It was killer. At the beginning, you've still got Batman talking like this. He's Batman. At the beginning, you see him actually track down the Scarecrow and get him locked up. All your stars from the original are back besides Katie Holmes. And Katie Holmes' character is then played by, what's-her-face? Maggie Gyllenhaal. I can't decide who was better, honestly, as that character. But then you've got the introduction of Heath Ledger as the Joker. Fucking stellar performance as the Joker. I mean, everything Jack Nicholson was, and then he did his own spin on it. He was even, I think, more crazy. Jack was a little more gangster Joker. Heath Ledger was more, well, as Alfred says, wanting to watch the world burn Joker, not really have any purpose. Whereas Jack Nicholson's Joker had a purpose. I mean, you get great stuff from him. A couple different why he's got his scar things. He has this cool, like, weird way he talks. He's like, I know why you hold your meetings in the daytime. The Batman. You wanna get rid of the Batman. You'll pay me half. Half. Yeah. Yeah, half. No, I'm not crazy. And he's just really whacked out and crazy. Love his performance as the Joker. Actually, this movie and the original Batman, I think, are really, really on par with each other. Some days I say they're even. Some days I like the 1989 Batman version better. Only because I actually saw that in theaters when I was like 7, and it was just so amazing and crazy to me. And it was awesome. I also saw this in theaters, saw it twice, but I was obviously not 7 and seeing Dark Batman for the first time. But you got an appearance by a new Harvey Dent, who does turn into Two-Face, and he is a cold, cold Two-Face. I really enjoy the Two-Face in this. Aaron Eckhart, I thought, was amazing as Two-Face. So technically, you actually have 3 villains in this movie, but they don't, like, Scarecrow doesn't really interact with the Joker. Two-Face does for a second, but that's only because they kind of have to. Because the Joker is kind of the reason he becomes Two-Face. I give this one 5 bad kills out of 5. It's definitely right up at par with the 1989, so if you haven't seen this, please do. Even though he still talks like he's a 90-year-old smoker, you'll get past it with the the awesomeness that is this movie. Last but not least, the final trilogy of Christopher Nolan, The Dark Knight Rises, takes place 8 years after The Dark Knight. This was a pretty solid film as well. Um, Almost didn't feel like a Batman movie to me, though. Batman is not in this one very much. It's a lot of Bane, and then Bane is actually the main villain in this. And Bane and Talia al Ghul. I really thought Tom Hardy killed it as Bane. It was badass. It was a new take on Bane as far as even from the comics. But I did like the direction they went. It was pretty fat. I mean, he was muffled a little on his voice because he had this crazy mask thing on. I can't really do an impression of it like I can the Joker or Batman. And he's more like, "Oh, hello, Batman. I'm Bane, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Because I'm Bane. And Nolan walked around with a comic book where I broke your back." I don't know how that's going to sound on video, or it sounded okay in my head. But Bane does kick the shit out of Batman, throws him in a hole. Bane takes over Gotham City with a nuclear weapon. I mean, it's pretty depressing for real. It's a very, very dark movie. And then Batman comes back and saves the day. There's kind of how he gets back is kind of a mystery because Bruce Wayne is broke in this one. And he's stuck in some foreign country, but he still manages to come back and save the day. Now, what I do like about this movie, that I don't know if a lot of people noticed, but Batman has to get rid of a bomb in this movie. And it's a pain in the ass for him to get rid of a bomb. So it totally throws back to this Batman movie, where Batman was having one hell of a time getting rid of a bomb. Batman had a hell of a time getting rid of the bomb in this movie. So I thought it was cool. What I didn't like, though, is what they did with Jason Hewitt's character, whatever the hell the kid from Third Rock from the Sun's name is. What the hell is his name? Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They make him like he just knows his identity from nowhere, and that doesn't work for me. And then at the end of the movie, you find out his real name is Robin, and you know what? We don't need a new Robin. If you're gonna do Robin, you can do Tim Drake or Dick Grayson or the other Robin. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. But we don't need a whole new Robin character. Anne Hathaway was Catwoman in this. She did an okay Catwoman. It was very more like technological Catwoman, and I mean she was still a thief and a cat burglar, but it was not. It was not Michelle Pfeiffer, and it was not Catwoman from any of those '60s films. Definitely better than Halle Berry as Catwoman. I mean, because that was crap. What she had to work with, I thought was cool. Like she did a pretty good job. All in all, this movie I think I give 3.5 to 3, about 3.5 bat cows, I think. So definitely watch this. It's good stuff. I liked it. The Nolan trilogy is great. And then you can never go wrong with the 1989 Batman. It's fucking phenomenal. Again, I have this mask set up in my living room, so I think it's badass. I already touched on Ben Affleck as Batman the other day. I think it's fucking travesty and a mistake, so we're not going to get on that again. But Reverend Racker's reviews will be back next week at the same bat time. the same Bat channel. Actually, I don't know when I'll be back. I just do these sporadically whenever I feel the need. I do believe Reverend Rackers, though, the Reverend himself, will be back next Sunday. So look forward to that. I know I'm looking forward to that. I miss that guy. So check that out. And also, since we're reviewing, check out Ian Vardell's album, One for the Road. You can get that on bandcamp.com. Just search Ian Vardell, and you can kind of pay for it what you want. But he's really trying to get out there and start touring and being a real live act. So if you could throw at least 5 down, that album's probably worth 15, but at least throw a 5. Throw 10 if you got it. 10 would be great. Anyway, next week on Batman. No. Thank you for watching, and